Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Good morning to everybody out there. It kind of feels like a Monday again or something. I'm not sure why. In case you're confused, let me help you out. It's Friday.
Yay.
It's both the second day of January and the second day of a brand new year. Anyone feel any different today
Nope.
than you did
Nope.
a couple of days ago?
Nope.
So more disappointed in some things, but no.
We're into 2026, another year shot all to pieces. I'm wondering if those fantastic leaders we chose in the past are going to keep with their traditions of doing as much as they can to us, or will they run and do something around, realizing that we're just not really about it yesterday, because I had a lot of time to think yesterday, and that's I'm just, why am I not happy? Why aren't we happy? Good morning. It's the beginning of the weekend, or in the case of probably most every person out there, the third day of the New Year's holiday. Yeah. That's what it really is. I'm Rayford Brown.
I'm glad I don't live in New York. I'm Chris Morris.
Oh, God, yes.
Happy New Year. I'm Lee Barrels. That's all I got right now.
Thank God it's Friday. I'm the donkey man in the house.
So I got a question and go start out this day. First one of the year for y'all. I'd really like you to call us this morning. I don't read what you're posting on the Facebook stuff out there. So I don't read that stuff during the show. I can't. I don't have the time. I got too many screens open as it is. For first question of the year, and I'd really like you to call so I can actually hear your voice, okay? What was the most important news story or ongoing news stories of 2025 on the national, international scene? Second question, for those of you in the local area, same as the first, but on the local scene, whether it's Onslow County, its municipalities, or any surrounding counties. This morning, think about it. Don't call right now. I want you to give some thought to what is the most important national, international story or stories that you cross paths with during the year, and about the local area. First, we got a call. Who we got?
Nobody yet.
When it rains.
We do have somebody. Good morning. You're live
It's
and
got to be
local.
Charlie then.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, yeah, hi.
There he is, Charlie. How you doing?
Merry New Year.
What?
So, actually, Happy New Year. I want to apologize to Lee. I think I've called into her number or maybe her private number a couple times. I apologize.
Yes,
I'm all over the place.
Okay, well, that's good. As long as your ashes are
Right,
not scattered
I
everywhere.
apologize.
The
I
only
think I
reason
covered that.
why I answered it is because I know when JPD used to call, they would call from a restricted number. It used to be that way. So when I see restricted, I always answer it, especially at this time of the morning thinking, is my house on fire?
I just say, who are you?
So-
What do you want?
Yeah, Charlie, it's no
Were
problem.
they calling to make sure you were in your house?
No, I've had them call me. Well, back when I worked at the post office too, and the alarm was going off, they would call me. It was always restricted. So
Okay, we're going to talk to Charlie.
yeah,
Hey, Charlie.
let's talk to Charlie.
Hey, Charlie, what's up? How you doing?
So, I just want to make sure, Lee, that I apologize if I called the wrong number.
You're
I
fine.
didn't mean to call the wrong number.
It's okay.
You're good.
Okay, so, hey, guys, great seeing all of you together in the room together. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy
to
New
you, sir.
Year.
Did you celebrate?
Okay, yeah, you're so good. Hey, Rayford, remember when I told you, Rayford, I'm curious, remember when I told you that I was getting a new job? I was going to be working with a new security guard company?
I remember something like that. Yes, some security agency.
Cool.
How'd that happen?
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, it's going really well.
Good. So you got everything under control. Everything is secure then, right?
That's good, Charlie.
But you remember certain things that I said to you about the company that I'm working with?
Possibly.
Cool. Actually, they're really good people. Nothing negative, nothing that. Actually, very, very good people. Very positive people.
Mm-hmm.
So actually,
Nice.
it's really good. So you may be saying to yourself, Charlie, what are you talking about? Rayford, you know what I'm talking about, correct?
Can you let me ask you a couple questions? So maybe the group, do they speak English? Is English their primary language?
Okay, yeah, they do, Rayford, they do. They're good
Okay.
people. They're good people.
I'm trying to help people out there that are maybe confused, so I want to make
Okay,
sure
so
that
maybe
they don't get
okay.
concerned.
Yeah, so go, yeah. Any other questions?
I do,
No.
Charlie. I got 3, so I can try to figure out what you do. This, Chris, because I don't know.
What is this? What's my line?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
just 3 questions to see if I can figure out. One,
Hey guys, before you ask me the question,
Uh-huh.
I respect the people that I'm working with.
Good.
Okay.
They're good people. They're quality people. I have no reservations about these people. So go ahead.
okay.
Yes, God.
Is it inside a building?
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I work. Yeah, I mean, I work. Hey, Rayford.
Yes.
Rayford, you know what I'm talking about, correct?
I do.
Okay, cool. These are really good people. So let's leave it at that.
Okay.
Good.
Hey, can I ask you guys a question? What happened to there's someone that used to work on your show that I really liked, and she's no longer around. What was her name?
Well, she's still around. It's Kelly.
Kelly.
Kelly's great.
Yeah.
Very, yeah, I miss her. Is she going to come back?
I don't know. She has a lot on her plate. She's been pulled in about 14 different directions. She's got some things at home she's having to deal with that are not in a bad way. Some extra chores that she's got
Yeah.
that have been put on her. So yes.
Kelly rocks. I've shared some personal information with her. I like her. I trust her. Very nice person, from what I can tell.
Yeah, and she didn't put it on Facebook either.
No, she's very confidential.
And I said, and she did not put your information on Facebook.
I trust her absolutely. She could absolutely expose me. I trust her. Hey guys. So listen, I'm going to ask you guys a question. You guys know this whole thing that's going around with the Somalis in Minnesota?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you guys think it's overreach? Do you think that I personally believe, I think that they're targeting a group of people, and they're trying to basically say that this group of people, they're kind of dangerous. And I don't believe they're dangerous. What are your thoughts?
Why do you not believe they're dangerous?
Well, Rayford, you know who I'm working for, correct?
Oh, yeah. But why do you not believe they're dangerous?
Interesting question.
Mm-hmm.
I saw something earlier where they talk about when you invite someone into your home, basically when you invite foreigners into your country, you let them live with you and you accept them, and then they take advantage of you and they steal from you. So do you believe that's what's going on in that community?
That's called a bullwhip and a light pole. That will cure that.
With this group, anytime a group of individuals from distraught areas, small groups of individuals from a distraught area, and Somalia is a distraught area. We understand that, right? It's the land of pirates, modern day piracy. Think about it. And that's part of their source of income in that particular part of the world. They hijack everything from small boats, yachts, big yachts, to big container ships. They've done it, and they've killed people. They killed a lot of people, and we've killed a few of them. Not enough, but some of them relocated here. I will say opinion that most of the time that occurs, and they will settle in the same general area because birds of a feather tend to like to flock together. That's the way it is. There's strength in numbers, and it's always good to move into an area and have your neighbors that kind of speak the same language, perhaps, and then it grows from there. And sometimes they spread out as they find out that Minnesota gets really cold in the wintertime, and they may go to other places. What would concern me is this group of individuals has only grown. It has not spread across the United States. If you understand where I'm coming from, that would be sign number one. Once you get a little bit more experience under your belt, you probably will understand where I'm coming from. Those are areas that we need to be concerned about. Am I concerned about them being anti-American? No, I'm concerned about them doing things in an area like Minnesota where they can easily, with 80,000 individuals here, control any municipal election, any county election in Minnesota. They have enough numbers to do that. And from there, they can just continue to grow. Now, that's my personal opinion.
Charlie, let me chime in on that if I can. They, to an extent, are exploiting children because they have taken millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars under the guise of helping children. And there's no children in those buildings.
No.
And where's the money going? It's going in their pockets.
We've seen the same thing domestically here, though.
Yes.
We have. No.
In Onslow County. We saw the same thing in Onslow County a few
Yeah.
years ago.
In the state too.
Not to that extent.
Not to that extent. Not to the amount
it
of
was
money we're
happening here.
talking about. And not having a governor who has said,
Look the other way.
looked the other way and said, no, we've put a stop to this. We've done this for years. We've been cracking down on them. Well, if they're cracking down on them, why are they still getting the money? And where are the children?
Can I ask you guys a quick question?
Shoot.
Hey, Rayford,
Uh-huh.
a couple months back, I told you that I was going to be working with a security firm. And I told you the nationality of the firm that I was working with.
Uh-huh.
And you basically said, hey, good stuff, correct?
Sort of, yes. I'm not going to.
Okay,
I'm not
cool.
going to diss them
Okay.
because I don't know you. I don't know your situation. But
Okay.
go ahead.
Okay, so I got to. I'm going to be very careful how I word this because the internet lives forever. The people that I work with, actually, I got to figure out how to word this. Okay, so the Somalians that are so-called cheating the United States of America, they're basically taking advantage in Minnesota.
They're cheating the taxpayers. Yes.
Okay, do you recognize that during the COVID crisis, that so many Americans took advantage of the system?
I've
Yeah.
complained.
And they built the United-
I've complained about it since 2020. Yes, I know about it.
So so basically they're just as they basically took advantage of the system as much as Somalians, Egyptians, Muslims, Episcopalians. They took advantage of the system, correct?
So yes, I don't know about all of the others, but yes, I agree with you. But here's the situation. Does that mean we should overlook what they have done and not do anything about it and not take any action, or just let them go on about their merry way?
I don't know. I'm conflicted. I don't know. I don't know.
It's kind of like, let's just boil it down to very simple things here, okay? Should somebody driving down the highway at 85 miles an hour in a 45 mile per hour speed zone get away with it because everybody else is doing it too?
Yeah.
I mean, no.
Okay, that's just the basics. It boils down to just the basics. At what point do we start stopping these individuals, whether there's somebody driving 85 miles an hour in a 45 zone or somebody who's stealing money from us? When do we start stopping it?
Hey, can I ask you one last question?
Okay.
When it comes to cheating or stealing, when it comes to taxes, is there any difference between someone that cheats 1 penny or 2 billion pennies? It's all the same, correct? They're both crooks, correct?
They're both corrupt. There are degrees in most of the laws that we have across this country. For instance, you can break into you can break into a house in North Carolina. Now, I don't care about California. Don't know their laws. They make them up as they go along anyway. But in North Carolina, if you break into my home and you steal something as simple as a 10-cent pocket comb, if they make those anymore, it's a felony because you broke and entered and committed larceny. That is a felony. If you walk into a store and you take what they used to call a 5 and dime or dime store or whatever, a Walmart, and steal a 10-cent pocket comb, you're going to be charged with a misdemeanor. But if you break into a man's home, you're going to be charged with breaking and entering in larceny. If you just break into his home and he's not at home and you do nothing, it will be a misdemeanor, breaking and entering. So there are degrees for the laws that we have on our books here. As far as morally, what you're saying, no, you steal, whether it's a 10-cent pocket comb or whether it's $1 billion. But legally, there are degrees that we have to apply to it. How does that sound?
No, I agree with you, but there's no difference between stealing 1 cent or 2 billion cents.
Morally, you're absolutely right. We do not enforce morality as far as the general statutes are concerned.
Hey, can I say one last thing? Maybe I'll call back. I really miss talking to you guys. You guys have one of the best shows online.
No,
I have
thank
no
you.
clue why you're not one of the most popular podcasts. I miss, I forgot, I think her name was Kelly. You guys have a great podcast.
Well,
I
appreciate
love watching
Thank
you
you,
guys.
Charlie.
We appreciate it, Charlie.
I genuinely love watching your show. I call into so many shows. I say horrible things about the podcast I call in. You guys have a great show.
Oh, if you
Thank
say
you,
So
Charlie.
I'll leave it at that. Maybe I'll come back in a little bit. You guys have a great
Good to
podcast.
hear from you again.
yeah, if you say bad things about those shows, why do you even call them?
I love your show. I think I love your show.
Okay,
Thank you,
Charlie,
Charlie.
we appreciate it.
Have a good one, Charlie.
Happy New Year. Bye-bye.
Well, I really didn't. I expected Charlie, from his past conversations with us, to really be more appalled at what was going on in Minnesota. You know,
people are
I
looking
just-
at it both ways. And a lot
Oh,
of
I
people are looking at
understand,
it
yes.
just like he's looking at it, which
Mhm.
I understand how
I
he's looking
do.
at
He
it. These
brings up
people
a
can't,
good point.
in general, these folks came over here because they were looking for a place. We'll go somewhere real close by. You know where Castle Hayne is?
Yes.
Okay, that's in New Hanover County, right on the border of Pender County, right? Small area.
Right.
It's an unincorporated community. Way back in the day, a lot of Polish immigrants moved into that area, as did a lot of Irish immigrants moved into New York, and then, they spread around and whatever. But a lot of Polish immigrants moved into a particular area of Castle Hayne. That doesn't make it a bad area. It's just the way it is. They're not bad people. They just moved there for whatever. Of course, they didn't have access to some of the billions of dollars, literally billions of dollars of money. They didn't want to go out and, I guess, rook the nations, steal from us. So they didn't. And whether they're Somalis or whether they're Mexicans or whether they're Ukrainians or whether they're whateverans, people will move in and tend to flock together. They stay
Yeah.
together for a period of time, at least.
That's what it was in school.
Yeah.
School same way.
Yeah.
We did a test in school one time. Said this class go to the gym, and we all went to the gym. Went up there to the gym and sat down, and I can't remember the teacher. And he's looking around, and he gets done. He said, "I want you to look at the person beside him." And he was talking about segregation. He said, "We are still a segregated community." He said, "You look, most of
Absolutely.
you black people are sitting over here together."
Absolutely. They
white people
self-segregate. They self-segregate.
self-segregate, and it's the same thing.
That's why you have predominantly, they call that predominantly black churches, predominantly black communities.
same thing.
Duh.
Same
It's
thing.
not. Now, should the federal government go in and break that up and force these white people to go to the black church and the black people to go to the white church? Should they do that?
Hey,
That is overreach. That is government
We did that
overreach.
to the schools.
They did it.
no, talking about Minnesota before it's all over with, I think a lot more is going to come out about that.
Of course. Yeah.
There were some
At
people,
high levels.
maybe, high levels, exactly,
I would like.
that got money, got their pockets padded with that.
He's
No
talking
doubt.
about. He was talking about he works for a security company now. That's what Charlie said. Well, I just wonder if they did a background check on him.
You better be nice.
Well,
The beginning of the new year hopefully won't be a sign of how the marine forecasts are going to be this year. Today, westerly winds 10 to 15 knots, increasing to 15 to 20 this afternoon. Seas 2 to 4 feet, 6 seconds apart. Sounds and rivers of moderate chop, becoming choppy this afternoon. Tomorrow, northwesterly winds 5 to 10 knots, seas 2 to 3 feet. Sounds and rivers of light chop, a chance of rain in the morning, then rain with a slight chance of thunderstorms in the afternoon. Thunderstorms in the wintertime.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
It's Candy's
I'm
listening.
just saying.
Candy, are you
Within 10
listening?
days.
I'm just saying that Sunday, northerly winds 15 to 20 with gusts to 25, not seas 5 to 7 feet, except 2 to 4 near shore, sounds and rivers. Choppy. Put that
Choppy.
down on your calendar. I got one right here if you want to make a note of it.
Okay.
10
Sunday.
days from tomorrow.
Okay. Today, increasing clouds with a high near 62. West wind 6 to 8 miles per hour. Tonight, cloudy with a low around 41. Saturday, rain, high near 56. New precipitation amounts between a quarter and a half of an inch is possible. Saturday night, rain early, low around 36. Sunday, mostly sunny with a high near 52. Now, it will be windy, north wind 8 to 10 miles per hour with gusts as high as 18. And Sunday night's going to drop back down to 29.
Forget the thunderstorms, forget all that stuff. I'm telling you right now, mid-December,
Don't stop.
2 to 3 inches.
No, mid-December, we're
No,
past.
mid-January, 2 to 3 inches.
Well, there's been a lot of talk around the
And
second
4
week in
to
January.
6. in
Tomorrow, our
February.
ham buddies,
Yeah.
our ham
How
radio
about
buddies, amateur radio folks out there are going to be
about
gathering again, the
4 to
members of
6.
the Onslow Amateur Radio Club. And any of you folks who want to become a member or want to know more about amateur radio, tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock at the Onslow County Emergency Operations Center. That's over there where the big stick is, the big tower, 400-footer, in the commons area. You want to go over there, come on by, sit down, say, hey, I'd like to be a ham, or just like to learn a little bit more about this.
Yeah.
They're also for those who are already licensed or who have been studying for their license. There's testing done after the meeting tomorrow. The meeting's at 9. It's usually lasts about an hour, hour and a half, and then there will be testing after the fact, and you can get over there and sign up. Okie dokie. And speaking of the hams, Joe, one of our ham radio guys down there in the borough, Swatsboro, 42 degrees this morning. What in the world? What have we got? A heat wave going on? Now, let me tell you about scattered temperatures. This is scattered as the various races and religious beliefs and everything else will scatter in different areas. They're all over the place this morning. 42 degrees in Swansboro. Had a light southeasterly wind. Nothing in the rain gauge. We've had no rain anyway. None of these hams have. Dale over in the River Bend area, which is up off 258, 39 degrees, 87% humidity, no wind. And Ward and Cedar Point, 47.5. Now, Ward is one of those very specific type of individuals. 47.5 degrees, 85% humidity, a light southeasterly wind. Woodlands, Lee, over there, 35 degrees, 91% humidity, and no wind, calm, and nothing in her rain gauge. Now here, I'm not sure why, but I've been up and checked a couple of different temperatures. We're up to 30 degrees now. It was down to 29. Actually, it was about 27 earlier overnight, and there was a cold spell, and it kind of lasted here. My temperature gauge here for this station is not affected by when the sun comes up unless it starts to heat up the whole area. The sun it doesn't shine directly on the temperature gauge, the sensor out there, because that's a fake reading.
Right.
When the sun shines on it, it's fake. Okay, that's not the way you take the temperature. It was 29, 27, 28, 29. Now it's up to 30 degrees, right? Yep, 30 degrees, 99% humidity. In the backyard, next to the house, it's 33 degrees. So that's just the way sensors work. It depends upon where you take the reading. 99% humidity, and again, no wind here as well. How, for my hard partying partners here, the three of you,
Oh, yeah.
in just a couple of 3 or 4 words,
Right.
I don't need a 23-minute dissertation. How was your New Year's Eve? Were you partying hardy? Did y'all recover from it? Did you have to spend some time in the porcelain toilet or anything late Wednesday night? What was it we have on Wednesday night?
Wreaths across America.
I figured as much. You were working.
Yes.
Didn't take a break.
No, not until
So you-
11:59.
So you celebrated by
Putting in information and generous people making those last-minute donations to the
Yes.
wreaths.
we'll get to that shortly. Lee, I know you were partying hard. I know
I
you
woke
are.
up about an hour before the ball dropped, turned it on just to see, was very disappointed in their entertainment show. I was like, oh, But other than that, it was quiet, except for some loud booms around the neighborhood and the dogs going nuts. Other than that, we all went back to sleep.
Can I ask her a question?
Hmm.
Was that ball number 1 or 2?
Oh,
That was both of them. And then I remember waking up somewhere around 2:00, and they were just getting ready for it to drop in Las Vegas, and I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Timmy.
I did a hardcore sleep through is
Good
what
for
I did.
you.
I went to bed in 2025 and woke up in 2026.
Okay.
So that's exactly what I did.
You know,
Rayford?
this I'm watching a movie.
Well, Rayford and I were on
Watching
the radio
That's
too.
right. Yeah, a bunch of the hams gathered and we
Yeah.
talked and we chatted.
Cool.
And then, speaking of the weather net folks that we have here for our local
Mhm.
guys, yesterday morning, since I didn't have a show here to do yesterday morning, after these guys, we were chatting earlier in the morning. I flipped over, just spinning the dials on the radio over there, and talked to a guy, and he was a surfer dude, but he was an older surfer dude in Spain, and
He's
he
gnarly.
was getting ready to go surfing on New Year's Day. He said that's a tradition, and then I started thinking back to some traditions that I've done. We used to go. First thing we would do is we'd go. My two dive buddies and I would go squirrel hunting on New Year's morning because that was the last day of the season. And that was bright and early and generally fairly chilly. And then after that, we'd gather the boat, hook the boat up, and we'd go down and go diving. One of the best New Year's days for the diving experience. We got a couple of squirrels early, but we came back and got all ready to go and headed down to where did we launch? I guess we drove Sneeze Ferry because we drove up to Bear Inlet area. And there's a little creek up there that runs off of the channel that runs out to the inlet. And my older dive buddy, he'd been in the area and he lived in Bear Creek. He knew the location. And there's a lot of clams up in that area. So he said, I'm going to show y'all boys how I go clamming. Because he was always teaching us. He was our mentor when we were kids. And went up in there. We had to get out and push the boat across a sandbar in that little channel, and then we would keep going and go. Hey, so are we there yet? And why are we going way up in here? And what's this got to do with diving? We got up there and there was a hole that was about 15 feet deep. A hole. Dropped down into that hole, and the hole was probably about 10, 12 feet across, and it was literally an edge of it. It was like a bomb had gone, and it could have been up in that area. It looked like a bomb had gone off in there, or felt like it. You don't see anything. We carried bags with a rope tied to them. We didn't put fins on. We just put weight on, and we sank right down there to the bottom. And we pulled ourselves up and down with the rope. And we picked up clams right out of the side of the edges
about
there,
that?
and we pick them up, but two at a time with both hands. And we filled up. Y'all know what a wash tub is. You know what a wash tub
Yes,
is?
I
How
do.
much does a wash tub hold in bushels?
3 foot wash tub, 2 foot wash tub, or one.
A 3 foot wash
3
tub.
foot. Oh Lord.
A bunch.
Yeah.
A bunch. And we filled it up.
Oh,
It was
yes.
rounded over with clams when
Wow.
we finished. And we had to open clams and open. And my dad could open clams faster than the three of us put together. But we had clams and clam chowder and froze a whole lot of stuff. That was one of the coolest New Year's days.
I bet that. I wish you'd took pictures of that.
Oh, well,
Sure.
wasn't into it at that time. But
Right.
on the other New Year's Day, New Year's Eve that I remember, was down in a place
remember?
called Bon Air. And it was in 1999. I challenged Y2. People said, you Y2K, you're going to get down there and you can't get back. And I said, oh, yeah, how about that? Nothing that I did depended upon computers. So I didn't care what the computers did. I was going and I
Except
went.
for flying.
I went there and I spent New Year's Eve and I spent 3 weeks there.
Mhm.
Were left on the day after Christmas and got back on the 15th of January. Y2K that evening. I said, because I had for years decided I was going to be underwater on New Year's Eve going into the new century. I get down there. 40 other people gathered. I figured I was going to be alone. 40 other people had gathered at the same location, and we all went down. at that time. And we came back during Eastern Standard Time, where Bonaire is 1 hour ahead, is Atlantic Standard Time, and they don't observe daylight time. So Atlantic Standard Time is 1 hour ahead of Eastern Standard Time, same as Eastern Daylight Time, but of course in the wintertime and watch New Year's Eve, it was 11 o'clock on the East Coast.
Yeah.
We did the dive. All of us did. We went down and we had a blast. Came back to the condo. Came back to the condo, and we watched the balls drop across the entire country
How
from
about
then
that?
on. That was so. I stayed up all night long, and I said, "Okay, I celebrated 103 feet of water down under 103 feet of water." Now, do we have Charlie back?
Charlie's on the line.
Oh, Charlie, you got a lot of noise there.
Can you hear us, Charlie? Charlie?
Charlie, if you can hear us, you're going to have to call back because your phone is whatever the line, the connection is totally staticky.
Right, yeah.
So you did 5 time zone drops? That would have been 5?
Well, down there was one. We didn't watch the ball, but we watched the fireworks.
Right.
Everybody down there, when we arrived on the island on the day after Christmas, everybody had these rockets in their yards. They don't have fireworks prohibitions there.
Right.
And they had literally all over that island. And we went for a week. They had rockets waiting, and they all set them off at midnight on a small island 25 miles long. At midnight, at 103 feet of whole sky, the whole water, the sky, the water, fireworks going off overhead. You could see it. I talk about cool. I didn't have a camera with me underwater. I didn't bother to take it with me. I didn't think there would be anything there to shoot pictures of.
Lee, you said you had loud noises going off?
Yeah, it was just,
locals.
there were fireworks, but
That's
they
what we had.
sounded more like somebody hitting something. It was just booms, and
Booms,
it
booms.
woke the dogs up and they went nuts. They
Yeah.
were thinking they were protecting the house and
Yeah.
trying to get them settled back down.
All right, do we have Charlie back here?
Yes, we
Let's see if
do.
the connection is better. Charlie, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
No,
Oh,
I
yes.
got you
We
good
hear
now.
you.
You had a bunch of static last time.
Yeah. Much better. Much better.
I apologize.
That's not your fault, is it?
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you guys a question.
Another
You
one.
guys know that I'm basically just some random individual. I don't know what you guys think of me. Obviously, I call into your show. I call into lots of different shows. And I just, basically, sometimes I say smart things. Sometimes I say stupid things. You guys get that?
Well, I do it every
I
day.
do it. I do the same.
There's nobody in this world that don't do it, Charlie. You're not
We're
alone.
different, yes.
Except Biden.
Oh gosh.
So I'm under a lot of pressure. I called into another talk show about maybe 8 months back. I called this talk show, they're a podcast show. And I called in, I just did my stupid stuff. And one day when I called in, because I bested them. Do you guys know what bested them means?
You got one up on them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Basically, I made them look foolish on air. And it's a popular podcast. And I made them look foolish. First of all, I would never make you guys look foolish. I love this. This is my favorite. This is
I can
one of
do
the
that
best
myself.
podcasts.
I don't.
Thank you. Thank you,
Wait,
Charlie.
while we're in this podcast has hundreds of thousands of viewers or listeners. You get me?
Uh-huh.
So this podcast basically said, "Hey, Charlie, we kind of like you. Would you like to do a show with us?" And I basically said, "No, you're idiots. I would never want to do a show with you."
Okay.
And I basically, what's that?
No, we were just laughing at it. I think that's a great answer.
I thought it was good. You done good, Charlie.
No, Rayford, if you offer me a podcast, you say, "Charlie, we'd like to give you a 10-minute segment on our show," I make it say, no, I goofed on them. Anyway, so one day I called into this podcast and I goofed on them. And they're very popular. I think you guys might know who they are. When I called in one day, they basically said, "Hey, it's Charlie the pedophile." I'm like, what? wait a minute, you can't call me that name. So they literally called me this name. I'm like, you can't call me that.
What prompted them calling you a pedophile?
What prompted them? Because I bested them. I everything that they did, because I twisted everything about their show. If I told you who this person was, you would research and you would say, okay, I get why they're saying. I want to be honest, it's caused me so much stress. First of all, I want to be very clear. This is very bizarre, this conversation, because I know this is being recorded. I was molested as a child many times. I was an advocate for individuals that were molested as a child because I bested them. They basically said, we're going to call this guy a monster on air. And it really, it messed with my mind because they threw that out there. No. Trust me, I'm not that person. Anyway, it caused me a lot of stress. Mm-hmm. And there was an attorney on this show with this very famous so-called podcaster. And I called this attorney's law firm and I said, listen, I called into your show and this person said they called me a pedophile. You can't just call someone that. And I identified every single person in this person's law firm. And I said, listen, I don't know who this person is, but is this person a pedophile? Is this person a child molester? You would never want me to say this about this person. But you labeled me as that online. Immediately you should have said, listen. We can't call this Charlie guy a pedophile. We don't know who this person is. But they ran with it. Mm-hmm. And it caused me a lot of problems.
Charlie, if I had let 2%, 1% of the things that I had been called impact my way of life, impact me, cause me any loss of sleep, I would never get any sleep. I can leave right now, and I probably will at 9:02 this morning to get off the air here. I will probably go up and, pick something else to eat, finish up this sausage biscuit thing here that our buddy Jimmy brought in this morning. Mm-hmm. I'll finish it up at that time in my chair. And as I'm wrapping it up, I'm probably going to be wrapped up in a little, what a throw is. It's a little blanket. And I will probably be asleep for about an hour and a half afterwards. Mm-hmm. And that's how much I get worried about what other people say about me and have said about me. I seldom let anything ever bother me.
Charlie, if along with Rayford's saying, here's about how I take it. If people are talking about me,
and they're not talking
about somebody, they're not talking bad about somebody else. And you know what? People like you and me and Rayford and Lee and Tim, we can take it. We can take it, but it's better they're talking about us than hurting somebody else because we can take it.
I get that. You can say anything about any human being, but when you label that person, when you say that specific term about a human being, mm-hmm. What's worse than that? Nothing. I'm going to destroy these people that called me this name. I'm literally going to destroy these people. I'm serious. You can say I'm the worst person in the world. Listen. You say, "Hey, Charlie, you're protesting so much." The fact that anyone would ever put that sentence together with me with children, I'm going to destroy these human beings. They literally called me this online, and this is like a major law firm in Florida. No, you can't say that about a human being. It's the sickest thing you could ever tell it. I don't want that definition. I don't want that identified by it's caused me a lot of stress.
Your friends know it's not true, and I'd go ahead and hit them with a
Bible. I know it's not true. No, I know it's not true, but this is a reputable law firm in Florida.
Well, the thing is here, Charlie, there's not anything you can do legally. You understand that, right? And I'm sure you've probably...
I want to say one last thing.
Okay, but there's not anything you can do legally because you're not even identified. Charlie is a non-existent individual. right?
You know what? Rayford, I have great respect for you. I don't know who you are, but it's really affected me.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand, but that's legally, it's nothing you can do. If you want to go after them, go after them. You can try to destroy them. You can, berate them. You can put stuff out there on the internet just like they do, and it's going to be you doing battle with them. And you know what? If you put something on their Facebook page, they're going to block it. That's not a problem. They can do all of that. I just wouldn't. The best way to deal with anybody that irritates you is to totally ignore them. I would not. I wouldn't give them the satisfaction.
Can I ask you guys a question? All three of you or four of you, have you guys read horrible things about you online that affect your lives?
Absolutely.
Yes, I have.
My deal was prove it.
My deal was I don't care.
And I said, just prove it.
Man, I don't care.
I could
Just
care less.
Please spell my name right so you don't confuse me with somebody else.
Call a lot.
Hey, Rayford.
Yes.
Hey, Rayford, I'm a big fan of yours. I really like you guys. So hopefully I'm going to deal with this internally. I think this law firm is going to go after me. It's really affected my life. Anyway, I'm going to take care. You guys take care.
Have a blessed day,
Have a
Charlie.
good day. Okay.
It's like, well, we had a sitting city council member who made some questionable stuff about me and yada, yada, yada. He was never, and I was never a journalist and not a journalist. I don't have any. Yeah.
Weren't you going to get sued?
Again?
That person, didn't he threaten
I
lawsuit?
don't have a clue. Don't pay any attention to them. I don't read other people's posts. Y'all had to tell me about it. Somebody told me about it. I think it was Lee, but or maybe it was somebody else in that town. But I don't care. I judge them. I know what their capabilities are, and I know what their credentials are. They're non-existent. I know what my credentials are, and mine I just laid out there. From back in the day, I laid everything out there that I could legally lay out there about history.
Right.
There's stuff you don't know. There's stuff I don't remember.
Well, we all have that in our lives and in our
So
personalities.
anyway, whatever. Okay, so
Yeah.
for your party animals, you went to sleep. I told you what I did. I just had fun. I watched a movie, and then I had two really good times in history. And interestingly enough, both of them involved water and being underwater.
I can't remember the last time I partied New Year's Eve. It had to be when I was young, but I don't even remember a specific event or time.
I do.
Usually it was always at home.
I do.
Yeah. At the club, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
The club.
The best New
The
Year's party
Chippendale.
I was ever at was at a tobacco barn. A bunch of us guys. There was a tobacco barn out in the middle of a field.
Smoking wacky tobacco.
No, didn't. Okay. I never did that.
Okay.
But we went to the owner, asked him, could we use it like for a party barn? Oh, sure. Keep it clean. And we went in there, and I had an old black wash pot, and I cooked beef stew. We had beef stew. We made beef stew that day. Great big old black wash pot, old lighter knot wood.
One out there.
I wish I could get mine.
About that big around.
And I cooked, and we drank beer and liquor, and people showed up, and that was about the best New Year's party I ever had. And we had the radios going in the trucks, and we had that, and we had no electricity, didn't need none. And I remember one good friend of mine, and he got drunk and he passed out, and I laid him in the back of my truck, and it cold.
Oh, you didn't. Okay.
And I watched him, and I saw his head move up, and it moved up again. So I ran and grabbed him and rolled him over and put his head off the tailgate.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever he came to and he sobered up, they told him what happened, and he went and hugged my neck with all that mess on it. But that was one of the best parties I ever had. I mean, we were all together. We weren't in trouble. And the ABC officer showed up at 2:30 in the morning.
Ooh.
Joel Dixon.
I remember him.
He showed up, and he unloaded his car with beer. He says, I'll be back in an hour. Make sure all of you are here. Do not drive home. In an hour, he came back with his pickup truck and he got him a bowl of that beef stew and talked about how good it was and then told me how to tweak it out. Joe could cook. And he told me what I could do to make it better and this and that and the other. And he sat there and we drank beer till daylight. I mean, we and it was one of the best New Year's parties I ever went to.
Glad you were contained under control.
We were right there. And Joe, and I want to say about Joe, Jill Dixon was a great guy to us. We had a fantastic time.
I remember him. That was way
I
back.
remember you telling me about that picture.
New Year's Eve.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. With the bread.
Yeah.
You dipped in
With
it.
the bread.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
how
I mean,
cooked.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Rick.
That's how I cooked on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, you did.
So
I
what
did
did you
too.
have for New Year's? Did you have black-eyed peas?
No,
You
it's
did?
never worked in the last 76 years. Why would I do it this year?
Did you, Chris?
No, I had a salad.
I had pizza. What did you have?
We went to the Piggly Wiggly
Oh, that
and I
sounds
had
good.
collards and black-eyed peas and Sherry Future. I begged her that
Delicious.
morning. I said, would you please fry us up some cornbread? And she just looked at me. She said, no. And
She did,
I
didn't she?
ate at the Piggly Wiggly a lot because it's good food, it's a fair price, and a lot of locals come in
Yeah,
and this
they
and that
do.
and the other. So and the collards were fantastic. And you know the ladies back there cooking the collards and cooking the black-eyed peas, and you had your little fat meat in them and every time you got a help on a black-eyed peas, you get a little piece of fat meat, and that just made it even better.
There's a good reason for some of us avoiding those large New Year's Eve parties in Switzerland. A fire at a Swiss alpine resort resulted in the deaths of at least 40 people. Body count is still undetermined, with another 115 suffering various injuries that happened about 2 hours after the new year started Thursday morning in Switzerland. Investigators trying to confirm the number of casualties. They're looking for the cause of the deadly fire. It happened in the lounge area of the Crans Montana Resort, best known as an international gold and ski venue. Gold venue? What's a gold venue? I guess where a lot of rich people go. It must be golf. They must play a lot of, Switzerland. Golf.
Yeah.
I misspelled gold. Police say there's no indication of any kind of attack by foreign entities, terrorists or whatever. One of the first questions at such tragic events these days. Up in Winston-Salem Wednesday, a tanker truck wrecked, rolled over. The truck rolled over and right there at 74, I think it was, at an exit there. News reports listed as a crash, but no report of any other vehicles available. The tanker truck was loaded with several thousand gallons of milk
Oh, no.
spilled from
Who
that
spilled the
overturned tanker. Yuck.
Spilled milk.
A trio of really special people. You started this, paid news yesterday. Socialist Zoran Mandami was sworn in as the mayor of the largest city in the United States. Notorious New York Attorney General Letitia James gave him the oath of office as he held the Koran in his hand. Socialists in arms, Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders and the infamous Congresswoman from New York, the former bartender Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, stood alongside what will no doubt become a real problem for the people of the Big Apple. I'm so sorry for y'all, but you did it to yourselves. Mandami said he would be ruling New York as a democratic socialist. That's what he said, not me. He made it clear that his intentions increase government control over the people and pretty much everything else in New York. There's another reason, if I needed another one, never to go to New York for anything. Good for him.
I
Good
don't
luck
miss
to
it.
you guys in New York. I'm
Yeah,
so
see
sorry
what
for
happens.
you, but you brought it upon yourselves.
Yep.
I had some calls last night about his swearing in, mainly about the Quran and the book. He had two Qurans, actually, his grandfather's, and then one that had some history to it for him. There's a large group of people that didn't like the fact that that he put those books on top of the Bible to be sworn in. He's not the first to not use the Bible. John Quincy Adams did not use the Bible.
Right.
However, I have nothing against Muslims.
I don't either.
I don't know this person personally. From what I've read, he doesn't impress me, but I don't live in New York, didn't vote for him, and I'm not going to suffer the effects of what he's going to not do for them.
That's up to y'all. Don't come begging for assistance.
Yeah. I mean, how does he figure he's going to take care of rent? I'd love to know how he's going to do that.
He's going to take it from other people because he's already made that perfectly clear. Y'all who have money, we're going to the socialist agenda is to spread the wealth among everybody else. That's the bottom line.
Where's Bernie Sanders represent?
Vermont.
Why is he in New York?
Why is he?
Well,
why
it's
is he
also
still breathing air?
campaign platform. He used all that in his platform. So let's just see what he does now as mayor.
Yeah, okay, Charlie, you're back. Third strike. Hello.
Hello, Charlie.
I love how you guys automatically assume it to me.
I don't assume anything. You know better than for me to say I'm assuming anything.
No, Rafer, I have great respect for you, so don't ever think that I'm disrespecting you. And you're too.
I know that.
So I saw the new mayor of New York being sworn in. Did you guys talk about? Okay, first of all, he talked about it was the Quran, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Did you guys talk about that? What are your thoughts?
Yes, we just finished talking about it as you called.
I apologize.
No problem.
I didn't catch it. My gut says you basically probably said, listen, you're in the United States of America. You might want to put your hand on the Bible. So correct?
If he had, I would have okay, what are you trying to hide? Because I know already about him. He knows about himself. He said he was a democratic socialist and he was going to continue to rule. He was going to rule New York and New Yorkers as a democratic socialist. That's what he said. And that's what he said yesterday. So if he had put his hand on the Bible, I think they would have burst into flames.
Wow.
Now that you asked me what I thought, that's what I think. Anything else?
So wait, was wasn't Bernie Sanders a democratic socialist as well?
He is a Democrat. He is not. He's an independent, but he has to register as a Democrat to get elected. So he's a registered Democrat, but he's a socialist and he's a so-called independent, he says. And those of us who are unaffiliated, we diss him as much as anybody else does. And then there's a Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, better known as AOC, the ex-bartender from New York, and now pretending to be a congresswoman.
So, quick question: where he stands, the new mayor of New York City, with his, it seems like there's a lot of free things that he wants to give out. He talked about basically saying, listen, the wealthy people, we need to make. I don't know how to put this together. Okay. What do you think is going to happen in New York in the next few years?
Well, the people are going to do exactly what the people in Iran are doing right now. They're going to be fed up with their leadership. We'll talk about Iran in just a minute, but there are major demonstrations and protests going on right now, and the government is killing the protesters. They've got several they've killed already. But the people, once they get fed up, when they finally get fed up, they're going to have he's going to have a very serious problem. Let's just do this for just a second. If everybody in California, and I don't mean just 25%, but if everybody in the state of California refused to pay their taxes, there would be no way to enforce the laws to go get everything that everybody's got. And California would be more bankrupt than it is now. if the people, when they uprise, if they uprise with their pocketbooks and just say, no, I'm not writing the check to pay the taxes that you're going to take and distribute to everybody else. No, I'm not going to do it. And if everybody did that, and believe me, one day it's going to come to that, you're just going to stop writing the check to pay for these guys to have their way with us. Once it happens, that's the downfall, and that's when it will occur.
Well, when your first day in office, your grandstanding is to revoke all or most of everything that the mayor before you had signed into, whatever you want to call it, law, or the orders that he signed, he revoked most, if not all of them. He's telling people that he's going to give them free rent, free child care, free this, free that. Charlie, what do you have in your life that is free besides air?
And as a diver, I have to pay for that.
Yeah.
But other than the air that you breathe, what do you get for free?
Well, I mean, okay, I get where you're going with this. And let me ask you a quick question. The new mayor of New York, he's Muslim, correct? Or he's Islamist? Okay. What percentage of the people of the Islamists in New York voted for him? Would you say it's like 5% or 100%?
I don't know.
I don't know, but
No idea.
he cannot be elected by only the people of his kind voting for
I'm
him.
going to say 100% of the people in New York that are Islamists or Muslims voted for him. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. The same reason why when Barack Obama was elected, I'm going to say 99.9% of Black Americans voted for him. Do you agree with that?
I think that it actually in those elections, the first one probably close, not that high, but a lot more. But by his reelection time, there are a whole lot of African Americans that were just totally opposed to Barack Obama being president. They did not like him. Yeah, because they in their opinion, first of all, he wasn't black. If you want to look at it, he was a higher percentage of something else.
His mother was white.
Yeah.
His mother was white.
And
But I'm just saying, I just think that a lot of Black people voted for
they did. A large percentage of them voted for Barack Obama.
Because he was Black.
What percentage of the Catholics voted for John F. Kennedy?
You know what? I'm not. Okay, I don't know.
He was the first Catholic president. He barely became president. You do know that, right? He almost lost that election. That was a really tight race. He barely beat Nixon.
Hey, have you guys like done a breakdown of Tim Walz of Minnesota, the governor? Have you guys broken that down?
There's not a whole lot to break down with him. He's an empty suit, as we used to say.
I would love to
heard that for a long time.
out of this guy. He's so goofy and ridiculous.
He is.
This guy could have been the vice president of the United States of America. And if Kamala Harris, I'm sure she's a beautiful human being. Can you imagine if something would have happened to her and he would have become the president of the United States of America?
I don't think it would have been much difference between the two of them, to be honest with you. They're both goofballs.
And he went after Eric Adams. It was one of those.
New York. Wasn't the mayor of New York?
Yeah.
Wasn't Eric Adams basically kind of a goofball idiot?
I think every politician in this world has a moment where they're that.
I think that the higher up the totem pole that they are, the more challenged that they are. And I'll also tell you that the more that they're going to be criticized because their lives are more open and their mistakes, even the very few that they might make. If you get somebody who's an angel up there is going to make a mistake, and guess what? The media and the rest of us and the socialist media are going to harp on it. That's all you got nothing else to deal with, so let's go after somebody because they misspelled a word.
Hey, Rayford, I think you look at both political parties as idiots. I think you see faults in Trump. I think you see faults in Biden, Obama. I'm just curious. It's kind of funny. I get a kick out of watching X. Now they're trying to destroy Trump. They're basically saying he's old. He's falling apart. But they never said those things about Biden. When Biden was president, they basically made him seem like Pete Sampras in his prime when he was 19 years old.
Same thing about Reagan, too.
And it's interesting that one of the news sources that really loves to hate, and I don't hate, but they do love to hate Trump, said that his doctors, after his test, his CAT scan and all these other tests they ran on him, actually he is 15 years younger than his age.
Yeah.
How about that?
And that's for the people that don't like him.
Yeah.
Do you guys earlier they talked about his aspirin intake with regards to his blood pressure. Do you guys see that?
Yes,
he wants.
I saw that. That came after that great big mark on his hand.
Yeah.
And where the doctor.
I guess he's taking like massive amounts of dosage of aspirin that his doctors don't recommend, and you've been taking it for like 20 years.
I've been taking aspirin since 1999.
Yeah. I'll take it every
He's
day.
an interesting character. I like Trump. Here's why I like Trump. He's not a politician. Is he an idiot? Sometimes. Is he smart? Sometimes. Is he a businessman? Sometimes. I don't think that he wants to lick the buttocks, to kiss the ass of these politicians. He's basically saying, listen, let's just try to make America great.
Yeah.
Well, he's more of a take charge kind of guy. It's my way or the highway. That's what he wants to do. I mean, that's what you look at. And he's a businessman.
Business, you can do that, and you should do that because you got the interest of the stockholders or your own business interest at stake. And sometimes when you're in the political world or you're leading everybody, not just the people that work for you or with you, but when you're leading the entire country, sometimes there's a little give and a little bit of take.
Right.
You got to understand that I might not be right all the time. 99.9% of the time, I admit that I am right. Nobody else does,
Right.
but I do.
Well, it's called compromise. That's how this country got formed and our government got formed was over compromise.
Time for weather.
Hey, can I say one last thing?
Please,
you guys
yes.
are going to basically. Can I say one last thing where you guys are? You're going to probably cut me off and you're going to say, Charlie. I'm not sure.
Go ahead. We got to get on with the show too. Go ahead. You got one last thing here. Go ahead.
The last thing I said is Joe Biden's daughter. Her name is Ashley Biden. She had a lot of struggles in her life with drugs and alcohol. It's documented. And you guys are probably going to cut me off and you're going to say, Charlie, we're not sure this is accurate. She was in a rehab facility in Florida. She had a lot of struggles with alcohol and addiction. She had a diary, and her diary was discovered by whatever people. In her diary, she wrote about forced nude showers with Joe Biden. She talked about being sexualized, molested by her father, Joe Biden.
I don't know. I don't know the source of that information, and I also can tell you that kids or anybody else with a diary, especially those who are challenged, I don't believe anything that is in the diary. Okay, you make up what you want to make up about yourself.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay, you guys have a great day.
Okay,
You
thank
too.
you, Charlie.
Charlie.
Bye.
Yeah, I don't put any stock in diaries. None, zero.
I could sit down and write a diary, and
I know. I read it. I saw it somewhere. It was online.
It was nice.
it was nice. Now anybody can write a diary. I mean, it doesn't mean that it's true.
No, that's right. Fantasies.
For
For kids, there's going to be a
instance,
lot of fantasies.
I read a book not long ago written by local author, and the storyline was, made up. But that author also put in the story was trying to accuse real people of certain things, but covered who they were by changing their names.
The name.
Which it was about as obvious as,
It was obvious. Well, for those of us who know, but that author, that was their words.
Mhm.
That was their account of how they felt and
Sure.
what they saw. And so does it make me think, does it make me go, oh, I know who that person's talking about, and I'll
Yeah.
never talk because he's a bad person? No,
Yeah.
no.
Okay, anybody else here? I asked a couple of questions early in the
I forgot what the
show.
questions were.
Well, it's very simple. I even sent it to you in writing first,
Yes, you did.
so you'd have plenty of time to digest it. What is the most important story or stories of 2025, nationally, internationally, those combined? Because generally, whatever happens in this
Mhm.
country that's extremely important is going to be an international story as well. Of 2025, the most important story or stories that you saw that impacted you or that you thought was the biggest thing that was going on? And what about on the local scene, Onslow and surrounding area? Now, Onslow would include all the municipalities in the county. So I'm not going to just say Jacksonville and Onslow County. Jacksonville's got a bunch of 5 of them municipalities. Is that correct? Whatever.
Yes.
But we have to name them every time, don't we? Richlands, Holly Ridge, Swansboro, Jacksonville, and North Topsail. 5 of them. So,
Yeah.
you're still counting, aren't you?
No, I lost count. I got messed up on 3.5.
She
We have half.
3.5.
Never mind. I'm just joking with you. Yeah.
But
there's-
anyway, what are the most important stories that impacted you or that you were looking at that you like, holy crap, that really happened? Or what's going on? And what were the most important stories during that time? So anyway, I've given you about an hour and 7 minutes to think about it. So any of you guys got an idea? Would like to talk about those stories now.
Also,
if you get
county, I
something,
can't really think of anything huge.
Yeah, usually the weather is going to be number one in most people's
Mhm.
minds. So we did
We
have
did have
quite
a
a bit of weather
snowstorm.
nationally.
Right.
We didn't have a snowstorm here.
Yeah, in January.
We still dodged,
Snowstorm?
we dodged the bullets on the hurricanes again this
Mhm.
year.
I think that's probably the biggest thing. We have a lot of them predicted,
Yep.
not that we're going to hit
It
here.
was an unusual year.
But one of the things that I did mention in talking with you guys or sending you notes, that I'm going to pick up a copy. You say it's the last year of the Farmer's Almanac coming
Yes,
out?
2026 is
Okay,
the
I
last
got
year.
to get a copy of it because I want to go through it and I want to take a look at what they're predicting,
Right.
which is what they do, and kind of keep a calendar of what actually occurred during that time,
Steve.
and see if there's anything there. And I bet you Steve has got some ideas about what's
He
the
probably has a story.
most important
I
stuff
bet
out
he
there. Hey,
does.
Steve, Happy New Year!
Hey, good morning. Happy New Year to you guys as well.
Thank you. We appreciate it. What's up?
Oh, not a whole lot. Just listening to y'all this morning. A lot of different topics, I guess. Most impactful story of 2025.
Yes.
I'd have to say I'd be torn on that. As far as impactful, I don't think we've got enough time under our belt to really, in my opinion, to be able to, decide that just yet. There's still some stories that are unfolding that started in 25.
Yeah, I think history will have to make that determination in the future, but that's going to be 10 years down the road.
Yeah. I mean, the first thing that pops in my head would be the Epstein files, and not because of Trump necessarily, but the King of England dethroned his little brother
Yeah.
and stripped him of his title over that. And Europe, one of their ambassadors, they fired over that. And
It's the most talked about story of the year. I will give you that. Most
I'll
definitely.
be interested. I'll be interested to see how far that story goes and how deep it goes.
How long before they bury it completely? How long do you think it's going to be? Other than the conspiracy theorists who are going to keep talking about it as the conspiracy theorists keep talking about Kennedy's assassination. They dwindle every year, but how long do you think it's going to stay near the top of the list?
I don't think this is a story that's ever going to be buried. I think just like Watergate, it'll live in infamy. Just like the Kennedy assassination, it's something that won't never die.
Do you think there's anything about Watergate that we do not know? Now, I live Watergate, so I know.
We never know everything. Unless they was, even if there's eyewitnesses, that don't guarantee that you know everything. So I really don't know about that. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not really a conspiracy theory type person.
Okay.
But the more I've kind of watched this Epstein thing unfold is, what would make him feel secure in being so bold in such a large trafficking operation? It almost looks like he would, like he thought he was a made man, like they was something that he felt like was protecting him.
I know criminals, I've dealt with them, and I know that they know when they're doing something wrong, because when you knock on the door, they say, "Oh God, you got me," or they run out the back door into somebody else's arms, and things like that. They know what they're doing is likely at some point in time the man's going to come and get them. What you are asking is pretty much the same thing as what I would think. I do not know that this man thought that the law applied to him. The bad guys that I dealt with that I know about, they all knew they did something wrong, and they knew they were doing something wrong. And they knew that sooner or later, one day, there's a good possibility somebody's going to knock on the door. I don't believe he ever knew that what he was doing was wrong, because he was so into his own little community, and that community consisted basically of himself and his pimp. That's the own gazelle.
Yeah.
I don't think that he thought the world was out there beyond what revolved around him.
I would have to say my opinion is slightly differs from that. And, they're looking at over 1,000 possible victims trafficked.
Sure. Do you think he would have ever? Do you think he ever considered it trafficking?
I can't really speak on what his internal thoughts were, but he seemed to have like he thought he was untouchable.
Right.
And that kind of makes me curious as to what would have made him think that he was untouchable. But anyway, that's like I say, I'm interested. It won't be a movie of the week. It'll have to be a miniseries when it finally comes out.
Yeah. Seasons 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, I fully understand that. But if I was to say something about, I don't know if it'll be the most impactful, probably the most talked about.
It is definitely, and how much does it impact me or you? Other than being nosy and curious.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things, crimes that are committed in this country that don't directly impact me. Don't mean they shouldn't be prosecuted.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with that.
Yeah. On another note, actually, what I wanted to talk about this morning, I kind of got sidetracked because I wanted to answer your question you'd asked.
Thank you.
As we start into this new year, I feel like America's in a funny place. We're very divided. And I'm hoping in this new year we can find a path back to unity. I will have to say, the president's Christmas message and New Year's message was very disappointing to me. I can't for the life of me understand why everything that comes from that man has to have hate and vindictive tendencies to it. His New Year's message ended with he wanted the governor and the Republican DA in Colorado to rot in hell because they won't release the person who tried to help him overthrow the election. his Christmas message was all the Democrats are scum and that have a Merry Christmas, it might be your last.
Obviously,
I guess
didn't
my
watch
question to y'all
that.
is, how are people who don't support him supposed to look at him in a positive light when that's the way he conducts himself? Even with the Rob Reiner thing, it's nonstop bashing half of America.
Well, let me ask this, Steve, because I've wondered about that too. I happen to have liked Rob Reiner as an actor.
Me too.
I liked him as a director.
Same, yes.
I loved the movies that he did.
Yes.
They were exceptional. But I have a question for you, and I deal a lot with death, obviously, in the church that I attend. What would you have? And I know you don't respect.
No, go ahead.
I'm sorry. A lot of people don't respect President Trump. Would you have thought any different of him based on what he said about Rob Reiner before his death if he changed it just because Rob Reiner passed away or was killed? I'm sorry, he was killed. Would
Honestly,
you go,
okay.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Here's how I feel about that. I feel like that a person at that level should be able to rise above their own emotions and opinions when it's called for. I understand that he had his opinions about Rob Reiner, and I mean, Rob Reiner, he did some good work. That don't mean he was a good person to me. I don't really know him that in depth. So I mean, I ain't gonna, say he was an angel or a demon. But at that particular moment, just like with Charlie Kirk, whether you agree with him or not, you don't celebrate what happened. You don't try and just.
All right,
The
there's
way
Steve.
that he did, and that worries me that if he goes into a negotiation, can he control himself? It raises other questions. And I understand what you're saying, that he was staying true to his opinion, but there's times when you should reserve your opinion out of respect.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have respect for other people.
Understand.
Well, I said the very exact
Pretty
same
much.
thing. He did not like Rob Reiner. Rob Reiner did not like Trump. Rob Reiner and his wife met a horrible, tragic death.
Mm-hmm.
The best thing for Trump to have done is not said anything and move on, or either say my condolences. He is the president of the United States. I expected something better from him, and I was extremely disappointed in what he said.
And I remember you saying that, and I appreciate that. But that's kind of my point in a nutshell. Is he said he did the same thing on his Christmas message and on his New Year's message. Is that he don't know how to rise above it. He don't know how to be the better man. It don't seem when it comes to politics. I don't know if his whole life has been that way, but in politics, it seems like he's always got to be in the mud, trying to sling mud at his opposition. People don't agree with him. I will say it's odd because 20, 30 years ago, Trump was more of a diplomat. He had a little bit, and it might be because of all the prosecutions he faced, over his last few years or something, turned him into, kind of soured him a little bit.
Well,
I'm still
it would have
concerned.
sired a lot of people if they'd have been.
It would have,
Especially me.
but I'm still concerned that our president doesn't have the self-control to rise above that.
I agree.
That concerns me. That person, everybody ain't cut out for that job, and just because somebody's good throughout their life at one thing, don't mean they're going to be good at that.
That's a good point.
And I think we all want to, extend an olive branch to the other half of this country that might not necessarily agree with what we believe in politics. Mondami being elected in New York, the American way is they get to pick who they want to pick.
Mm-hmm.
That's none of our business whatsoever.
Really, yeah.
And who we pick is none of theirs. And, to me, the patriotic thing is, hey, man, good luck with that, New York.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Right. That's the patriotic
Good
thing.
luck,
We wish
y'all.
you well. We hope it works out for you. You know, we hope he's everything you think he's going to be. You know, but it's not new. Bernie Sanders has been the senator from
Yeah, Vermont, but who cares?
Vermont.
And who cares?
For like 150 years.
He can't, all he's done is,
150 years.
he's promoted maple syrup. Big deal.
His Yankee
When
version of
they signed
Storm
the Declaration
Thurmond.
of Independence, they used his pen.
Yeah.
You know, I get it. He's been there forever, you know, but those people get to pick who they want to pick. And, you know, they're probably not happy with the people we pick and send to Washington. But that's the American way. And, you know, you have to respect that, you know, people out there, they live the way they want to live. And I take some solace in knowing that in New York and Minnesota and California and places like that none of our tax dollars go to pay for any of that. Not one penny from North Carolina goes to pay for any of that. Because we are a welfare state and they are donor states. They're the ones that pay for stuff in North Carolina. They help us pay our bills. So if they want to run their show that way, then God bless them. I wish them the best.
Yeah, good
I
luck.
do too. And you're right. And we talked about, I know we got to do weather here, but Steve, we talked about last week about who affects us most when it comes to election time. You know, we're getting ready to have primaries for county commissioners, school board. These are the people that are really going to affect us the most. I understand what happens on the state level. I understand what happens on a national level, but the down route, the people that's going to affect you, Steve, me, people in this room, those listening, are these people locally. Do you agree?
Yeah, there is that, and I mean it can affect us on a national level as well. But that's the bet we lay on the table. That's the wager we put up there when we cast our vote. Is that it might not go the way we want it to go, and I believe it's our patriotic duty to accept that. You know, we can work towards changing it, but that's the American way. You know, and when we win, they don't agree either, but they're supposed to do the same thing. And I know both sides are guilty of, you know, not being good sports.
Yep.
But, you know,
Steve,
anyway, the
thank
last
you,
thing
sir.
I would like to say,
Yes.
I was going to say, is the last thing I'd like to throw out there is it did trouble me that Trump condemned Mondami all the way to when they met in that office, and then he completely flipped the script and had a full-throated support for him. That puzzled me. I don't know quite how to process that. That seemed weird, you know. For somebody who don't never give up condemning the left, he sure, you know, did a 180 on him, on Mondami. So another one of them things that makes me go, huh. I mean, I don't know how y'all feel about it. But anyway, that's all I had to say for the day. Other than that, I hope everybody has a blessed new year all around the world. You know,
Amen.
we are fortunate. There's a lot of people that are in really bad places today.
That's for sure.
Have a blessed day, Steve.
Thank you, Steve.
Y'all have a blessed day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Offshore today, westerly winds 10 to 15 knots, increasing to 15 to 20 in the afternoon. Seas 2 to 4 feet, 6 seconds apart. Sounds and rivers of moderate chop, becoming choppy this afternoon. Water temperatures approaching about 60 degrees offshore and a little bit warmer the closer you get to the Gulf Stream out there. So in case you want to go, don't do it today. Saturday or tomorrow, northwesterly winds in the morning, 5 to 10 knots. Seas 2 to 3 feet. Sounds and rivers of light chop, a chance of rain in the morning. Then rain with a slight chance of thunder boomers in the afternoon. Anywhere there's a thunderstorm, the ocean will get a little bit choppy out there because the winds kick up. Now, Sunday's going to be the rough day. Northerly winds 15 to 20 knots with gusts of 25. Seas big, 5 to 7. 2 to 4 near shore, but there's not a whole lot of fish biting in the surf right now. Unless you're surf fishing, you might find a good old red drum and some speckled trout there. Just saying, sounds and rivers choppy.
Today, increasing clouds with a high near 62, west wind 6 to 8 miles per hour. Tonight, cloudy with a low around 41. Saturday, rain with a high near 56. Saturday evening, rain early, low around 36. And Sunday, mostly sunny with a high near 52.
Touched a little bit on Iran this morning. Good to see that the folks out there, they're becoming increasingly unhappy with their government. when the people finally have enough and in masses, I'm not going to talk about little pockets of people who just don't like what's going on here, there, everywhere. They're rabble rousers. Those people, they don't really have a place. But when the entire government is oppressing you, it's time to take action.
Right.
They've been protesting for almost a week now. A number of people have been killed. Unfortunately, cost of doing business. Protests spread across Iran on Tuesday after Donald Trump and other administration officials voiced support for demonstrators. Our president told the demonstrators to keep up the good work, or words to that effect. Speaking on Monday, Trump pointed to Iran's economic collapse and longstanding public discontent while stopping short of calling for regime change. That's what he's calling for. I don't care what else you're saying. And you can rest assured we probably have rabble rousers right smack dab in the middle of those protesters, egging them on. Inside Iran or Iran, depends upon how you call it, what you call it, how you pronounce it. I don't care. Demonstrations expanded beyond the capital's commercial center. This is where things are going to happen. The Exiled Opposition Coalition National Council of Residents of Iran, long thing, NCRI, reported widespread strikes and student protests across Tehran and multiple provincial cities, describing clashes with security forces and anti-government chants. A video shows protesters pushing back security forces, forcing them to leave. Strikes spread across Tehran districts. Important on these strikes and into the other areas around Tehran. Parts of Tehran's Grand Bazaar. You've seen that stuff on TV. You know what that is. That's a huge shopping area,
Market
right?
area.
And the gold market shut down. The Grand Bazaar and the gold market stopped. They shut down. Mobile phone traders. What's one of the most powerful things in this world right now? Mobile cell phones, right? Gathered outside major shopping centers after closing their stores. Protests turned violent. Tear gas fired in Tehran and Malard, and reports of live gunfire in another area. Trump has repeatedly described Iran's leadership as brutal. We know Iran's leadership is brutal, has been brutal. They do not mind doing very vicious things to human beings. And it's just maybe will come to an end. Who knows?
I want to jump back to what Steve said, and he was talking about the Christmas post that Trump put out.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
I'm just going to read you the first couple lines. I'm not going to read the whole thing. But it says, Merry Christmas to all, including the radical left scum that is doing everything possible to destroy our country, but are failing badly. And he goes into all the things that, we're doing now. We're like, we no longer have open borders, men and women's sports, transgender for everyone, or weak law enforcement, et cetera, et cetera. But I have to agree with Steve. Cannot the president just say, Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night, and leave it at that and go on?
Leave the politics at it's like when you go to church.
Yeah.
You leave your differences at the car. Okay.
I mean,
there's a time and there's a place for that. Political rallies, political BS sessions. You want to get on your podcast, you want to get on your X pages or whatever those things are. You want to go on there and you want to play politics, go for it. Christmas, New Year's, it's well wishes for one and all. This is America. First of all, Mr. President, Mr. County Commissioner, Mr. City Councilman, Mr. Mayor, Mr. School Board member, you may be a member of a political party.
Right.
You may have fought bitterly against the opposition, the other political party, anybody representing the other political party. The day that election is over, that is the day you are no longer a member of that political party.
You're there for
You
all.
can have the same ideas, but they're going to be spread to everybody, Republican, Democrat, and me.
Well, I guess
You represent all of us.
I'm a big Reaganite, and
Me too.
presidents like that who, no matter what side of the fence they were on, they got up and gave speeches to unite the people,
Mm-hmm.
to bring everybody together. Even when Obama was president, whenever there was one of the State of the Union speech,
Mhm.
I watched it
Of course.
because you know what? He was our president, whether you voted for him or not.
Yes.
I want to know what he's got to say. And the same thing with Biden. His speeches got more of a watch this, see if he makes it through it, towards the end. But still, no matter who was president, at State of the Union, I was sitting right there because I wanted to know what our president, who's supposed to be there for all the people, is saying. And I don't know if you noticed, but on December 31st, I posted these new laws that go into effect
did.
January 1st, 2026.
A lot of people have commented about that. too,
This
to me.
information was given to me directly
Mhm.
by our Senator Michael Lazara, and I did post it the evening before the 1st. So if you go on our page and take a look at it, but just a few, it's a long list, but taxes, individual income tax rates are reducing to a flat 3.99%, which they were 4.25% in 2025. So our taxes have gone down. Schools and families, state statutes
You're
and
talking
policies.
about on the state level.
Yes, right. State taxes. State statutes and policies officially recognize only two biological sexes, male and female. Public schools must adopt policies restricting overnight sleeping quarters on school-sponsored trips and events to biological sex. Exceptions for family members are with written parental consent for all involved students. So that was a lot to do with schools. Healthcare, North Carolina joins the Interstate Medical Licensure Compact, streamlining licensing for physicians and improving access to care. Under estates and probate, attorneys may retain electronic copies of wills now. Investments and pensions, there were some new changes there. Private schools, certain private school staff and volunteers may carry concealed handguns or stun guns on campus with school approval and proper permits. And then he goes, there was things on the federal tax changes and provisions for 2026. So there's a lot of good information here. I urge everyone to check out our page. It was posted on Wednesday night. Wednesday night. I did have it pinned to the top, but I've unpinned it. But yeah, scroll through there and look at those new changes that we have effective yesterday.
Let me give you all something there.
Good
Something to
changes.
think about. You probably are aware of some, but did you know that a little irritating to me is that there are at least, as of Tuesday or Wednesday, 19 states across these 50 United States of America that issue driver's licenses to illegal aliens.
Yep.
Did you know that?
I don't
I had
doubt
heard there
it.
was a number. I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
There are
I've
19,
heard, but-
19 okay, 19 of them. That's bad enough. Many or some of those states will put on there, you are an illegal alien, or words to that effect,
You are a legal alien.
for various reasons. And one of those reasons is the driver's license is most often used as a form of identification to do things like vote.
Yep.
And for
Right.
other purposes as well. But if you're an illegal alien, you cannot vote. So if you produce a driver's license that says, I'm an illegal alien, you got a license from California, but I want to vote, you can't. Now, the state of California says you can vote in municipal elections and probably state elections, but that doesn't give you the permission to vote in federal elections. How do they regulate that? That's a pain in the butt for them. Many of those states who issue those licenses do not add anything to the license that indicates the bearer of that license isn't illegal. They just get by with, here's a driver's license. Yes, sir. Go ahead about your business. However, the rest of the states that do not recognize those drivers because they are illegals as having a valid driver's license, regardless if it's from another state, which normally we recognize all other states, except if they issue a driver's license to an illegal alien. Therefore, when they get stopped in North Carolina, the highway patrol or anybody else that stops them can arrest them for not having a license. You do not have a license. And by the way, you don't have another legal person to drive this car. We're impounding it. We can seize your car. I don't think that should be an option. I think that should be a requirement. We seize your car,
Yikes.
period. You're going to pay for it. We're going to arrest you. Since you're out of state, you have no driver's license, you're operating a car illegally in this state, we're going to arrest you. We're going to put you in jail. Impounding the car, you know what you do when a cop impounds a car? He has to do what they call an inventory. That means he has to look at that car and write down everything that's in that car. That it doesn't have to have a search warrant to do that because I've impounded that car. Anything that I find in there that's illegal or questionable, I seize. And if it's illegal, I arrest you. I charge you with that too. And then at that point in time, I have an illegal alien, Mr. ICE agent, in my custody, and I'm holding him for you. When are you going to come get him? That's the other states in this country, all 31 of them. If they would do that, the ICE wouldn't have, their jobs would be a whole lot easier. Because first of all, we get rid of those illegals that aren't supposed to be driving our highway. They're giving driver's licenses. There was one in Guatemala over the weekend, was it? That was from Guatemala. He killed somebody driving illegally. They just give them the driver's licenses. You come from another country, we'll give you that. It's not a problem. Don't worry about it. You need to get around. You need to go back and forth to work.
Well, and I'm going to do the research on it because I'm going to ask a question that I don't know the answer, but because and the word you're using is interesting. Give. Are they taking a test to get this license?
We don't know.
That's my question.
We do not know. Do they know the rules of the road? There's a driver down there in the great state of Florida who had a CDL from California
And Washington. Yeah, that was
which
illegal
was
then.
right there is illegal. But then he makes an improper U-turn because he couldn't read English.
And I can't understand why Florida let him go.
I think he slipped away, and then they went to get him afterwards. Though.
And they found him at the airport in California,
Yeah.
leaving with
Yeah.
everything he had.
Yeah,
But I still couldn't see that he should as soon.
yeah. As soon as they did, they said, "Hey, come along,
Should
with
have
me. Put your hands
handcuffed
behind your
him.
back."
I don't get that. It wasn't in Polk County, I guarantee you.
No,
They would have got him. And that's
so I don't, whatever.
I value my license. I earned it. And I earned it and I covered it.
And you do a lot of things to make sure it doesn't get taken away from you.
You ain't wrong.
Amen.
Because I was
There's a
told
whole lot of stuff you could do to get you could
Yours
screw
a
that
lot
up.
easier for
first
you,
time,
yeah.
and my brother said that to me the first time I ever got the chauffeur's license.
Right.
And he looked right at me and he says, "Let me tell you this.
Yeah, that's one thing. Keeping's another.
Right.
Nobody,"
Mm-hmm.
he said,
For him.
"nobody has the right to take your license away from you." And I'm looking at him, and he paused, did the John Wayne pause. But you, he said, you can have it taken away.
You can screw it up.
If you stay right, you won't have a problem.
That's right.
And I remember saying that. And I know you're looking at me kind of concerned,
No.
but it's true.
No, I understand.
And that's why, I even had a chief police told me one time, well, if you're not driving, you can do 0.0. No, sir.
No,
It's in, because I got.
the CDS
I got
0.04.
0.04. But if I'm driving, it's going to be 0
Mhm.
because I won't even
Right.
take NyQuil.
Right.
I won't
I won't
even
either.
do that. And people look at me, but look, mine's going to be 0.
It's a whole lot like people like Lee. You got a concealed carry permit.
Yes, sir.
You don't have one
No,
right now, but
not
you're gonna get it.
active. No.
But the one thing that those of us with those things have, we don't want to do anything.
No.
And you don't have to do a whole lot. that for them to revoke it, for them to hold
You're
that thing,
right.
take it
That's
from
the
you.
absolute truth.
And if you to get it back, it's going to take you another 3
Yes, sir.
years. If they take it from you, there's a good chance and then you got to start from scratch.
Yep.
So we value things like that. I value my ham license.
Well,
I don't know.
Yep.
That's an important piece of document to me.
Mhm.
I had to work for it.
Yeah. Well, Timmy, when I was looking at you, just in the back of my mind, it reminded me of what I tell people about my time at the cable industry.
Right.
I never fired anybody. Never. But 3 people chose to go to do something else somewhere else because if you have a job, you earned it.
I fired him.
You
You would.
well, but they did things to make you fire them, right?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So they had control of them being employed by the Postal Service.
Well, no, I'm talking about the security. My guys
the
carry
security.
guns.
Right.
And there came a time or two where it was necessary to weed some of them out.
But they caused it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you didn't cause. So,
No.
like Timmy's saying, is
I caused a
you know
fire.
he earned his chauffeur's license,
Mhm.
so he made sure he didn't lose it. He earned his CDL for
Right.
driving a truck. He's doing everything to keep it. The 3 of you carry concealed guns, and you're doing everything you can to keep it.
Just try to be good
Right.
law-abiding citizens.
Don't do stupid
That's
stuff.
all you do.
Right. Don't do
I mean,
stupid
it's
stuff.
just common sense stuff, but I do
You can't even wink at a woman on the road. They take your license.
I know.
CDL.
Can't
A lot
do
of
labor though.
restrictions.
That's what CDL means. Is can't do labor. Because my little joke is nobody's sorry. No sorrier. The sorriest person in the world is a truck driver.
You
Because
have
CDL
to.
means can't do labor. So that's
Oh, I
just.
see. So you just drive.
I just haul it. I just haul it, Shug.
Just
That's
haul it.
what
I read an
tell 'em.
interesting question that was posted online and overnight, I think it was last night or this morning early. It's more of a statement than a question. For me, it's more of a statement. But the person said, how do gun control advocates justify assault weapon bans if the definitions keep changing?
Right. Yes, nobody.
See, that's one of the problems that the
Keep up with
left,
it.
the
Yep.
anti-gunners keep
What
coming
is-
up with.
I've heard that too.
One
About
of
what is an assault weapon now? What do you call it?
Well, it's because it's a military looking weapon. It looks like an assault. That is one of the definitions that was offered at one point in
Yes,
time
it
in
was.
California
I can
because it looks like a military weapon. I've got an 1851 musket. Guess what it was used for? By VMI,
Right.
Virginia
I got a
Military Virginia Military Institute. They were training people to be soldiers with this gun, this
Yeah.
particular gun, because I ran the serial numbers. That's what it was for. It was a weapon of war.
Yeah.
I've got a good.
I got a P365. That can
12
be considered
gauge
assault.
Winchester Model 12 was used by our military
that.
as an issued weapon. A 12 gauge pump shotgun. Is that a military weapon of war? Absolutely. You want to go to Vietnam, and during that period of time, every unit had a guy with a shotgun.
5638.
So we
I don't know.
what line is
You've got a line.
line 2
can't
right there.
see my
Okay.
list.
Good morning. You're live and local.
Good morning.
Good morning, Roy Bennett here. How you
Oh,
doing?
Mr. Commissioner, how are you?
I know that
Lord
number.
have mercy.
I'm sorry, Royce.
She had a brain failure.
I need
I
to
know. I
pick
was
my
like, I
boots
know
up.
that number. I know that number. It's because you haven't called in a while.
I
I
done
have
paid
him
my
on speed
taxes.
dial.
Thank you.
Look.
Don't call me.
I have it. I'm not
Speed
going.
dial 1.
I'm not going to pay
You know
anymore.
what?
I'm
I
rebelling.
went over there and paid mine too. So, yep.
Why don't you go pay mine too?
Property taxes are due Monday.
No, thank you.
Also
I
count.
paid mine in November, and my daddy would slap me.
I'm going to slap you too.
Yeah, he did. Well, I happened to be there, and that's the only reason. Royce Bennett's the only reason I paid him then. I just happened to be there
Well,
at the
I
meeting.
have
and
no
I said,
reason to
"Let me
happen
run
to
them
be
things."
there. So, Royce,
Well,
you do at every
well,
meeting, so you
I'm-
just pay mine.
I'm-
All right, what's on your mind, Royce?
Go ahead, Royce.
Yeah. I just wanted to say, no matter what you think of Trump, you got to say his inauguration was the most impactful event for 2025.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one, yeah.
I agree with that.
I
That
can't
was
even
good.
imagine anything that has been more impactful in 2025.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at on that one. But then for the county, which I'm much more interested in, locally, I think that there's one word to sum up what happened in Alonzo County in 2025, and that's progress. We have done so many great things in Alonzo County. We got an Amazon distribution
Yes.
center. We got
I
Camp
love
Davis Industrial Park working, spinning up. We got a
Swimming
we
pool.
got a new pool, a
Mhm.
new pool coming. That's a great public-private partnership between entities in Onslow County. We got a medical office building coming in Burton Park. It's just been a great year for progress in Onslow County. I hope we can keep it up in 2026 and keep making Onslow County the community of choice in coastal Carolina.
And
Amen.
and the taxes, not the tax rate, but the taxes will be no higher in 2026 than they are in 2025.
No, I'm sure the tax rate's going to go down.
I didn't say the tax rate. I said the real dollars. I don't care what the tax rate. I don't care if the tax
I knew
rate.
that was a loaded.
I don't care
Here
if
we
the
go.
tax rate is $1.40 a dollar for $100. But,
Royce, is that your other line beeping?
I know it. I know exactly what you're talking about, and I hope that the electric bill doesn't go up and the water bill doesn't go up. And
Everything's going up.
of course, with the gas prices going down like they are, who knows? Maybe we can cut a lot of property taxes. We spend a lot of money on gas. So anyway, it's going to be a good year for Onslow County, and looking forward to. We'll have a session, a workshop in February. We'll set our new priorities for 2026, and it's going to be a good year.
okay.
Now, next Monday, commissioners meeting, first of the year. That's the 11 a.m. one, right?
And that's right. Our
Okay.
first meeting is Monday
I'll be
at
watching.
11.
I'm going to be watching.
We're watching
So
you.
y'all be there. Yeah, come on down.
I've got to sleep sometime or another. I can't do that.
Chris, we ought to go. I usually watch it from the house.
Kathy and I are going. We got something special. We want to talk to the commissioner.
Uh-oh.
Oh, well, then I may have to go
Oh,
somewhere.
it's good. It's always good.
Oh,
We never go to the commissioners with bad
I
stuff.
want you to go protest for a change.
No, they have someone that does that every single commissioner meeting. The same person.
Phil
And I
Lane,
cannot
rest
tell
his soul,
you
but
a
he's
clue
gone, but
what's
now-
being said.
now you got some more. You got people took his place.
Yeah, well, you gotta have somebody.
I got one suggestion for you with that one. Okay.
Oh,
Since it's the same one, and we had a problem here with the situation here. If it's the same one with the same thing over and over and over again, why don't you just say, well, Mr. Samuels Jenkins, you're back up here again. Is there anything differently this time, or should we just play a recording from the last time you were
There you
here?
go.
Or make it, there has to be what's on the agenda. Please. I just want to beat my head against the wall every time that one person gets up
I
there.
don't beat my
Bless
head.
her. I don't know.
Beat others people's
Bless
heads
her.
against the wall.
It's tough to have to listen to, but we
Yeah, I know. It's their right.
don't want to stop people from saying what they got to say.
I know.
You know
I
what?
understand that
You remember the
exactly.
Gong Show?
Yep.
Can you find that gong?
Look, she's gotten thrown out a couple meetings, got carried out by the sheriff one time, but no,
We
he's
should come
absolutely
back.
right. They give the public, they afford them 5
Yes.
minutes to speak on any subject, and you continue to let people do that, and that is a good thing. So sometimes we have to listen to stuff that makes us want to beat our head against the wall, but that's just the way it is.
If it's no different than the last time at bat,
How can you
if it's
tell?
a swing and a miss,
She does 10 minutes in less than 5 minutes, and it's so fast.
well, she should get a
And-
job at a used car lot. Okay, Royce.
Oh my
It's a shame they can't get us some help. I don't know.
I know.
what
God
she
bless
needs,
her. Really, no.
Yeah.
Put out word that you've changed the location of the meeting.
No,
You
because she
moved to Jones County.
Yeah, that's right.
anyway, no.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
mean to be critical of her,
I
And,
do.
and I do believe
It's a waste
that
of my time and money.
she needs some serious
Guidance,
counseling,
guidance, yes.
guidance. Guidance is a better
I
word.
don't,
Thank
you know,
you.
I mean, from the way
Right
she
to the
rambles
door.
on, I can't really figure out what she needs.
That's
I mean,
what I'm
if I
saying.
if I could really figure out what she needs, I would.
She might need a hug. Won't you just get up out of
Yeah.
your chair and walk down there and give her a hug?
She only mentioned your name once
Yeah,
while she
just
was
one
in there.
time. So
Yeah.
you might be
Timmy, you will be the hugger. You're appointed to be the county commission hugger. Show up at every meeting.
Right, right.
I can see that now. 10.10. Give her a hug.
Well, Royce, I hope to
She
see.
won't let me get close to her. She runs away.
She's
when I
like
get close
you.
to her.
She's made that known.
You've
She
heard
did not
about
like
her.
you.
She's heard about you, Royce.
No,
What's going on?
she flat out in a meeting
I
said something
I
about Royce.
saw her at the polls. She was out there with her signs, and I just tried to walk up to her and say hello, speak to her, and she turned and ran away.
Well, you know what I would like to see though, Rayford and everyone, all these people that are running for county commissioner this go around, I'd like to see them attend a meeting. I'd like to be able to look and see them sitting there.
Well, if they haven't been attending the meetings, why do I even want to consider them?
Right.
What do they know about what's going
They
on in the
may be
county?
watching them at home.
Well, didn't
They
tell me
could
so.
be doing that.
Well,
But
I
I
tell you
would
what
love
we
to
do.
see them there.
I'm going to come up with the test when they come in here.
Mhm.
What happened with this particular subject when the county commissioners brought it up? Do you know anything about it? That's what we should do.
I guarantee.
That's what we need to do. I need to be my good old teacher from way
Look,
back in high
I've
school.
been watching every meeting for the last
Yeah, the block.
since 2015. Okay, when I got active.
Oh boy!
And I could tell you right now that I probably know just as much about what the county does than some of our past commissioners. You know what I'm saying?
You're probably fair.
And I'm going to write your name in.
No, you're not. No, I'm not doing that. I'm going to help some, but I'm not really. No. I'm going to help,
All
but
right, Royce.
thank you, Royce.
The people who cook this year,
Oh,
when's that, April?
Yeah, we're looking forward to
April.
April. See what you're going to cook this time.
I've got
Yes.
a 75 quart black pot that is going to take 3 people to help me load it.
Oh my goodness! I'll help you load it. Let me
He's
know.
cooking mermaid.
now, Royce, I think he wants you to help unload it.
Yeah, and then what we're going to do? I'm going to have to use it. I'm going to have to cook it outside because I've got to build a fire. So, can you get a special fire permit for me?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that could be an issue.
Yeah. Oh, well,
Well,
And the new email that again is it's not meant.
cookers.
Oh, yeah. John's Low Cooks.
you gotta
John's Low
change
Cook.
it.
John's Low
John's
Cooks.
Low
John's
Eats.
Low.
John's Low
John's Low
Eats.
Eats.
John's
John's
Low
Low
Eats.
Eats.
John's
Low
Low
Eats.
Well, how are we going to eat if we don't cook it?
You,
Yeah.
you're going to do your part. I guarantee the other part's going to be him.
I got to get on the board because I got to vote to change his name.
Radical. Yeah, leave it there.
It's
All right,
okay.
Royce.
He's on the board now. All right.
All right.
We'll get you in here, sir. Thank you.
Have a blessed
Happy
day.
New
Royce.
Happy
Year.
New Year.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
That reminds me, by the way, that Monday we have
Whitney Cantrell.
Oh, Lord, here we go. Watch out, incoming. Hey, Whitney.
Well,
So we will.
she's a firecracker now.
Well,
I know she is.
they've all been offered a chance to come on.
Not
Bring it
all
on.
of them.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
still
I'm
working
sorry.
on that. I need to
Apologize.
get up with the Democratic chair and talk to her. She's a friend of mine. Love her to death. And see if she can talk to some of her folks to come on the show too. Because I'd like to get everybody the opportunity. And generally, I send out emails to
Right.
everybody.
Yeah.
But I noticed that this year on the list, which is right over here, and this is generally where I get all their information, a lot of emails missing. So,
Well,
our former commissioner, Walter Scott. has
Yes,
mentioned
we're
he's
gonna have-
going
He
to
wants
come
to
on.
come on. We
Yeah.
yes, he
And,
wants to
we
come
had
on.
we had Elliot Drummond on.
We had
on
Elliot
Tuesday.
already. We'll have Whitney. And then I
Monday.
want to get the young lady that's running for Onslow County Commissioner too from the Democratic side. And then we've got a couple people
let's
from the.
let's get Walter
What do you-
scheduled as soon as we can.
Oh, yeah, we need to. Yes, definitely.
Be off that day.
Yes. You be nice.
I am not.
We give everyone a fair chance. And then we're going to make arrangements to Michael Watley is going to come into the studio one day.
Wonderful.
Yes.
He's running for the state line, right?
Michael and I go way back. Yeah. It was Michael and me and Greg Murphy that walked some beats out there, knocking on doors the first year.
You're walking the streets.
Walking the streets first
That
year.
means you were
way back.
Don't
Street
say it,
walker.
don't do it, right?
I didn't do it. She did it.
Okay.
Were
Anyway,
you high boots
yeah.
or low boots or
I was wearing tennis shoes.
Purple tennis shoes.
go girl?
No purple. Anyway, so
Guys, we will be back in here again tomorrow. No, today's not
I've
Monday,
been
is
so
it?
messed up. I was
That's all
going to
right.
put the trash out last night.
I looked at mine yesterday, I said,
I
no, I don't
know.
have to do that.
I was thinking it was Sunday all day yesterday.
I did too.
But you know what? I really appreciated that day off yesterday. Thank you. Thank you.
We can take it off anytime we want to.
I know that, but
don't have any bosses, remember?
I was fighting something trying to
We
grab
belong
a hold
to, we
of me.
belong
but-
to us. We don't have any.
That's
man-backs.
true, but you know, we've always been here for everyone,
Uh-huh.
and it was nice to have that extra day.
Since I got up yesterday morning anyway, not by my choice, but because I said, okay, I woke up and said, what?
I heard them yesterday morning because I leave the radio turned on,
We had
and
one.
yeah, I
We had one guy checked in.
I'm like, no.
For you other ham guys out there, if you want another weather net,
Mhm.
3906 on 80 meters, I found that there's one really close to the Coastal Carolina emergency net frequency that they meet at nighttime. But these guys are meeting in the mornings, and they're the Northeast Weather Net or something like that. So the guy was calling and calling and calling yesterday, and I said, because I was just tuning around. I didn't have to put the show together or anything. I was just tuning around while I was up anyway, and came across it. I listened to him for a while, and nobody was responding to him. So I called him. He said, you don't have to be a member. You can call anytime. So I called. I wrote down all the information here. And he said, oh, my goodness, you're one of the further away people that we have. He was in Connecticut. So generally, I said, well, we don't have your snow down here. So do you still want to report? And he said, absolutely. So I told him, and it was cold here. He said, that sounds like you got a heat wave according to us. And he said, well, we got zero snow, zero precipitation. So I gave him our weather report.
I do want to say that I thoroughly enjoyed Zoe.
Oh, my God.
That was so,
Zoe.
I tell
Yes.
you.
Wonderful person.
One of the, I'm sorry, Lee, but just real quick, one of the
Go ahead.
things that she said the best, and I'll always remember it, is ham radio is safer than Facebook. And when I asked her if she told her opinion, yeah, wow. What a smart girl.
Absolutely.
And you know, and she's just got herself so together. And to see a 14-year-old that is so focused on studying, being a good student, being a good member of an organization, being a part of a club like that, board of directors, she's got her,
Yeah.
she's so together. And I think I wish that we could do more to get more people her age involved,
Absolutely.
away
for
from the
sure.
internet, away from video games.
Come and join a group, and you know we can help you. We got a whole team of people out there just willing
Yes.
and loving to help people. Other
We
hands.
need to get MENAC back in here too, because, you know, since they started a couple years ago, they have branched out so much helping kids in the schools.
Well, I'll tell you
and-
something else about the ham group, though. That as many hams as we got there,
Yes,
we have generally about 40 at every meeting.
right.
Do you know how many people would be knocking on somebody's door that's going to be a problem for Zoe?
I'll just warn you now, you mess with our Zoe, you mess with us.
I mean, we got,
Okay.
it's like who was on the air yesterday, the other
Uh-huh.
Lee. I mean, he's got a backhoe.
Yeah.
I got a boat.
We got a boat and a back.
We can resolve situations,
I just,
and Daddy will be at home.
Stream station and the backhoe station.
as I tell a lot of the youth at our church, and to Zoe, it's people like you that give me hope for the future.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
She is at the
Polished.
She is.
She's
Sure is.
polished.
I mean, if she
I
gets
love
to be 35, we could run her for president.
And
Why
win.
not?
And win.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's going to happen.
21 years. We don't got to wait 21 years. She's 14, right?
She's 14.
Yeah, 21 years. She'll be 35.
Well, let's give her a chance to
We'll be
get
here.
college.
Okay. Anyway,
Family.
we appreciate y'all on joining us today, and as always, we do appreciate that. We'll give everybody an equal chance in here once they come in and chat and have a say so. We got you.
Yeah.
We got you, and we do appreciate you, all of you.
Yes, we do.
So we'll be back on Monday morning,
Yes, we will.
7:00.
Yes, we will.
Have a blessed weekend.
Have a great weekend, and please be safe. We don't want to be reading about you on Monday morning unless you're getting some kind of an award.
Very true.
Got
Very
it.
true.
You're live and local Real Talk, where we're always mostly awake and never, ever